Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review for Halloween month. And as of right now, finally getting to the end of this fucking franchise. You know, stupid franchise. It's a stupid franchise now. At least I'm glad I'm ending it right now. But it doesn't matter because we're gonna get another Scream film. I'm like, because this film made even more money than the last one in Scream 5. Granted, it didn't make more than Scream 2, because Scream 2 is still the highest grossing one in the franchise, but still, it's the second highest. Whoop-de-frickin-do, okay? I'm not a fan of Scream 2, but the thing is, it's better than... Well, I'm not a fan of Scream 2, it still sucks, though, but still, rather watch that than these 5 and 6, which we're getting to this one, Scream fucking 6. Yeah, so we're getting so they announced that a while ago they're going to do another 7th Scream film. Oh, but this time they got the director of Happy Death Day to do it. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Yes, I like Happy Death Day, but does it just because you get a director of a film I like, let alone also the sequel too as well, which is not mine, Death Day 2. But still, it doesn't matter, because what more, if they do a 7th one, what more can they do with Ghostface? It's like the same thing with Halloween. What more can they do with Michael Myers? Nothing. Nothing new. Nothing creative. They're probably just end up start with some more bullshit, dumbass rules, which, you know, I was very close before starting this video. I was thinking to myself, I was that close to saying this is the worst one in the franchise. You know, I was going to say this was the worst one in the franchise. But the thing is, though, I'm still, you know what, at the last second, I'm still going to give Scream 5 the worst. Because they gave the biggest kick in my nuts of killing off David Arquette. A very likable character that I liked. And when they treated his character, he's a loser. He divorced from Gail. Yes, I know, like I said, in real life they divorced, but still. He's a loser living in this little trailer house. And somehow he was able, somehow a wooden stick figure was able to overpower him and kill him. Which I call bullshit, and I don't buy. I don't buy a girl who basically weighs 100 pounds being stronger than David Arquette. That was bullshit. That's basically edged out number 6 as being the worst one in this franchise. So I could say Scream 5 was the worst one because of that. Because that would piss me off the most. Especially of the main reason of killing off David Arquette in such a shitty manner. Well, this is funny. It's just that they do the same thing a lot with old characters and fellows nowadays. They did the same thing with Han Solo. They did the same thing with Luke Skywalker. Even Princess Leia. Especially in the Star Wars stuff, you know. And they did the same thing with Indiana Jones. You know, having a wannabe girl who's basically is better than her, yada yada. Better than him, sorry. And even with the Halloween series, and even old characters like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 one with Sally. I'm just sick to death of them fucking over old characters until they die. Well, yeah, granted, they didn't. They made Laurie Strode live in the new ones, granted, though, but still. She was like the crazy cat lady in the first movie, still. Or, I would give granted, though, they did not kill off any of the original trio from the Jurassic World franchise, like Alan Grant and Dr. Malcolm, Ian Malcolm, and Ellie Sattler. At least in Jurassic World Dominion. At least I give them that, though, But a lot of like 90% of the time, they bring back characters to get killed off. So, yeah, to me, I'm saying that Scream 5 was the worst one because that was the biggest one. That was the biggest punch in my soul of killing off David Arquette in such a shitty manner. He did absolutely nothing, and he died as a loser. Fuck Scream 5, let alone fuck Scream 6. And this is, yeah, again, this film got praised. I don't get it. 76% once again on Rotten Tomatoes, like basically the same score as number 5. This one says like a 6.5 or 6 on IMDb, a bit higher than number 5. Why? I have no idea why. Scream 3 gets, like I said, I've said before, I don't know why Scream 3 gets so much hate. Okay, it's like, people consider it's the most hated one in the franchise. I don't get it. Here, okay, it's in New York. So what? Okay, Scream 3, it took place in Hollywood, which that's a better location than Scream 6. And plus, and speaking of New York, Manhattan, whatever. Because at the start of this video, one of the guys who's a killer but gets died by the other killer, he's watching Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, with the whole bullshit. Hey, in Scream 6, they're going to have toxic waste be dumped there every midnight in the sewers? Yeah. I mean, I mostly don't like Jason Takes Manhattan. That's one of the least ones in the Friday 13th for me, among many other people, I'm sure. But I'd rather watch Jason Takes Manhattan over Scream 5, 4, or 6. Yeah, I would rather watch Part 8 of Friday the 13th over this. At least with some of the kills, I mean, like, Jason, he goes and punches Julius's head off. Yeah, people say it's laughable. That shows a badass thing from Jason. Goes and punches a guy's head off, the character Julius. Or he kind of becomes like a little bit of a good guy where he saves the lead girl from these two muggers. That's kind of funny. And I did like the song that was playing at the end of the film. I forgot the song though, but that's a good song to listen to. Forgot the name though, but I did like that song that was playing at the end. So there's one or two things I get positive about Jason Takes Manhattan though, but overall I don't like the film. Still, if I redid it again, it'll probably be a rant. I think it was a rant on what I did a long time ago. I forget though. I mean, you have the whole bullshit thing of Jason has the ability to teleport. That was stupid. Like the one guy, or the one girl at the disco, he's here, and the next thing he's over there. Or the one guy who was that asshole with the girl who let the girl drown, right? He was way behind. As soon as he gets to a building, boom, he automatically teleports to the building and tosses the guy out the window. You see, I'd rather talk about Jason Takes Manhattan than this bullshit. It was dumb, but this film is even dumber. So Scream 6. It's the same directors who directed the last one. They come back. They can't direct for nothing. And was it the same guys who wrote this film? Yeah, so it's for the same two other guys who wrote this film. They can't write for shit. These two writers, Jason Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. So, okay, calm down. It just makes me infuriated, though. Just want to. The opening of the film in New York. Okay, you have Samara Weaving, which I liked her in Ready or Not, and also that she's also the niece to actor Hugo Weaving. And we're cool to see her here talk with her actual accent. She's a professor who teaches about horror films. What a coincidence. And she's a call, tells her not to go in this dark alley, which of course, either the writers do that on purpose or we know the audience that you're never supposed to go alone by yourself in a dark alley. One thing leads to another, she gets killed, which honestly, Samara Weaving, I like her. I liked her, Ready or Not. And I actually did like her. It was that other kind of ripoff of the Belko Experiment with Stephen Yeun, Glenn from The Walking Dead. It was called what was it called? Not Deathmatch. Not Slaughter. It was something like goddamn, I forgot the name though. I know what I'm talking about. It's Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead is in it, and Samara Weaving, they were in it together. And I liked her in Ready or Not. I mean, honestly, she's the better. To me, she's the best. She was the best actress of this movie. Have her be the lead, No, we get the same two sisters. Son of a bitch, come on. The same two leads, playing the two sisters again, Sam and Tara Carpenter. No. Like I said before, you don't get to use John Carpenter's name. Sorry. Yeah, Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. They come back. Like I said, the lead girl, not Jenna Ortega, the other one, Melissa, whatever. She sucked in the last one, and she still sucks in this film. She's terrible, even as an actress. I'm sorry. Jenna Ortega, like I said, I liked her as Wednesday. Like I said, how I described how she portrayed Wednesday, I thought she did a very good job on that. I'll just stick to her playing Wednesday, and I'll wait for the second season to come out, and I'll watch her do a better job than she does in these Scream movies. So yeah. And the same two other people played its brother and sister, Jasmin Savoy Brown, who plays she annoyed the hell out of me in the last one. She's being the wannabe Randy. Yeah, I know it's the niece of Randy, but still, okay. But she was even more annoying. Oh, wait, she's annoying because she was a lesbian? No, I don't care if she's a lesbian or not, okay? The point is, she annoyed the hell out of me, she was irritating, and I hated her, and I wanted her to die. How about that? But no. They have the other one who played the brother, Mason Gooding, like I said, the son of Cuba Gooding Jr. Then you have other cast members. You have Dermot McMulroney. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. I know Dermot McMulroney, Ronnie, which I've seen him in a lot of other films. I know he starred in Young Guns with Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, among others. I like Young Guns. He was in that. He plays. This film almost made me choke to death. Yeah, so this film almost made me choke to death. Jeez. But it's like Dermot McMulroney. Yeah, like I said, he's been in a lot of films I've seen, but especially when he started in Young Guns with Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Kiefer Sutherland, among other movies. He plays a cop, and probably the one of his worst performance, I would say. And Hayden Penttiere, which comes back as Kirby, which people thought originally she thought she was dead in Scream 4 because she was stabbed in the stomach. Which, by the way, just really quick, if you get stabbed, especially in the stomach, you're perfectly fine. It's like, if you get stabbed or whatever, or cut, you just walk it off like it's a flesh wound. Like, the boyfriend Chad, who was the boyfriend of Jenna Ortega in this, he got stabbed like a dozen times by the killers, basically turned into a shish kebab, but yet he's still alive, he didn't die. It's like, wow, the killers must be very inaccurate. They must have missed every vital, eternal organ or major artery, That's the only way this guy could have lived. But anyway, Hayden Penttiere, as I was saying, yeah, but she's perfectly, because, yeah, besides being stabbed in the stomach, you must have seen her die, but no, she's alive. And now she's an FBI agent. I'm like, even one of the characters, I forget, was it Courtney Cox or another character asked her, you're a bit young for FBI. I'm like, yeah. And I'm sorry, and she was among she was like the only among of the newer cast that was in Scream 4 that I liked. Here though, she's literally given nothing to do, and I think she looks like, I don't know, she looks like she was like sleepwalking or something. I don't know. Just waiting for expression and stuff. It looked like she was freaking sleepwalking. Yeah, she was awful in this. To me, she was better when she was in Scream 4. I mean, she seemed to have more energy when she was on the phone with the killer. She was naming all the remakes, more terrified though. But here, it looked like she was just freaking sleepwalking. Look at her. Even her expression on her on this cover here, so it looks like she is like sleepwalking face. She was awful in this film. To me, she was better off in Scream 4, and I don't like Scream 4. But like I said, she was one of the newer cast members that I liked. The only one I pretty much liked. So yeah, she was terrible in this. Courtney Cox, literally nothing, and I would say she was also awful too in this film. She was so awful that this time I just want to throw my... I hated when they kill off Dewey in Scream 5, but in this time, I think I'd rather make an exception this time. I really wanted to have Gail to die this time because she was awful. She was like... I didn't say she's come off bitchy, though, but I'm like... I was like, you know what, this time I'd rather make an exception. But the thing is, because I rather like Dewey more than Gail, but she was literally useless in this movie. She was literally useless. Oh, and Neve Campbell, she doesn't come back, which I think that she made a very smart decision, because either she didn't get this paid, I think, yeah, because she didn't get paid a certain amount of money, and she's like, screw it, I'm gone. I'm like, yes, thank you, Neve Campbell. You made the right decision. You made the right decision not to star in this movie. Otherwise, they probably would have fucked your character over too, like they did with Dewey. So yes, Neve Campbell, of everyone, she made the smart decision. Because there's a time when there's enough. I don't want to be a part of this franchise anymore. She made the absolute best decision. I give props to Neve Campbell. I like Neve Campbell outside the Scream films. I like Neve Campbell. Yeah, I thought she was pretty good when she voiced as what was the character name in The Lion King 2? Simba's daughter, Kilala. I was gonna say Kilala, like from Inuyasha. No, Kiara. But I liked her among other films outside her Scream films. But I still think she's a very pretty lady. Still, that's just me though. I'm just saying. But I'm glad she made the smart decision not to star in this film. Out of everyone, she's the only one who had the brains. So I'm glad she's out of this. But Courtney Cox, she was absolutely useless as Gale. And this time, she was awful too. And at this point, I would have rather make an exception. I would rather her to die. And I think because they mentioned Dewey to her. One guy mentioned Dewey, and I'm like, well, that was a low blow, I think she said. I'm like, jeez. But anyway, yeah. Among this whole entire cast sucks. This whole entire... maybe the guy who played Chad. Because I think he was the only decent guy of the bunch. Who was the guy who plays Chad? I want the guy to get to know who plays Chad. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Damn it. Okay, it was Mason Gooding. Oh, see, that's how well I know these new characters' names. Chad. Okay, it was the sister, the brother of the annoying sister. This is how scripted these two movies have got to me. I thought Chad was... I guess she was dating the Jenna Ortega. That's how bad these films have screwed me up, But I think... Okay, yeah. Okay, Mason Gooding, son of Cuba Gooding Jr. I didn't really care for much in the last film, but here I thought he was more decent and improvement, okay. Yeah, but he's the one who got stabbed more than a dozen times, and yet he survives. He got stabbed a couple times in the last movie, and yet he still survived. Are they trying to beat him like Dewey? They're trying to make him be like Dewey, like how Dewey got stabbed in the back in the first film, got stabbed a couple more times in the second film, and then he survives in both. At least in Scream 3, he didn't get injured at all. Well, because he got the knife tossed at him. Did I mention that in Scream 3? If I didn't, I apologize, because if you did, here it is right here. In Scream 3, he ran out of bullets to shoot Ghostface, right? And Ghostface throws a knife at him. Luckily, but he actually getting hit in the head by the handle of the knife. Not the blade, but the handle. And just go boom, and he falls down the stairs. If I didn't mention that in Scream 3, I'm sorry. But, yeah, but at least he didn't get injured in that. At least he got knocked out by the handle of the knife. But, and Dave Ricker did more to do. He shot the killer once, but he had a bulletproof vest on that time. He starts shooting again until Sidney tells him, the head, shoot him in the head. Scream 3 is so much more fun and more. I had more fun entertainment out of Scream 3. I don't get the praise for this. I don't get why people say, "Ooh, this is one of the best ones of the franchise." I don't get it. But yeah, they're trying to make Mason Gooding like David Arquette, being stab, and then survive again and again. But it was the sister. The sister. She just annoyed the piss out of me. I wanted her to die. It's like when you get stabbed, you're perfectly fine. Like in the scene where she was in the subway with all the different ghost face masks. You even get people dressed up like iconic characters like Pinhead and Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers. But she gets stabbed in the subway down here, but yet she's perfectly fine. She can still like walk it off like it's a flesh wound, or just like a cut that you need to put a Band-Aid on. She gets stabbed. She's perfectly fine. Mason Gooding, he got stabbed about a dozen times and he survives. So if you get stabbed, basically you're perfectly fine. You know. Damn, man. Okay, where's the plot now? Okay. Get into the plot. I mentioned the opening with Samara weaving, but the killer who plays Ghostface, who killed her, I kind of thought it was interesting. Where we reveal the killer right off the bat, you know, and then he's like, I thought that would be interesting, get it from a killer's point of view. That kind of like if we're doing that route like that, just take a. Why don't you just try to take a page, something like which I don't mention much that often, but I really enjoy the movie. I think it's an underrated, like Tucker Dale vs. Evil, another one kind of an indie horror film, right? That I liked. There's a film called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. If I could talk right again. It's about this crew that trying to make it like a mockumentary of this guy who's a serial killer. Want him to view from his perspective. What he does, right? Take a page out of that. Okay, that could be an interesting opening. A guy, we see the killer right off the bat. Maybe we can see it from his point of view. But they don't go that route, of course. But he gets a call from the real Ghostface and said that his buddy is not there. He opens the fridge, his buddy's in pieces, and then he dies. And then, okay, maybe we get an interesting line from the other Ghostface, like, fuck the movies. Okay, a Ghostface that doesn't give a shit about the rules of the movies. That could lead to something else too, because it leads further with the stupid sister saying the more of these rules. You know what? It's basically, hey, dumb bitch, fuck the rules. Rules are made to be broken. It's like how you say the laws are made to be broken. Well, same thing applies to rules. Rules are made to be broken. There are no rules. Stupid dummy. So yeah. But then after that, because Jenny Ortega and Melissa Barrera or whatever, this time they're in New York, and Jenny's always telling her sister to let go of her, let her go. I'm like, jeez, every time it's like a thing with that phrase now. It's everything is automatic. Go back to Let It Go from Frozen. Although that would have been real funny if we heard that in this movie. Hey, sister, you gotta let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Please let me go. That would have been funny. Actually, that would have been the funniest part of the movie if they put that in there. So, and then one thing leads to another. Like, that's one of the problems with this film. This film is like 2 hours long. It's the longest one in the series. I'm like, God, what is it with these movies nowadays that every single movie has to be over 2 hours long? Well, granted, this is not two. It's not 2.5 hours. Like what that stupid, overrated Ari Aster movie, Beau is Afraid. That's 3 hours long. At least this film was not 2 hours. Like, okay, it says like it's 122 minutes, like 2 hours and 2 minutes, minus end credits, but still. Not every single film nowadays has to be over 2 hours long. That's one of the things I like about Renfield that also came out this year, which, by the way, where is it? I have it right here still. I reviewed this earlier. Renfield is a much better movie than Scream 5, let alone Scream 6. This film beats the shit out of Scream 6. With its more in violence and gore, and better attempts at humor and action, and better characters. Nicolas Cage, he was having fun over the top fun, over the top, yeah, but he was having fun as Dracula, chewing the scenery, hamming it up, you know. And Nicholas Hoult, I thought he was a pretty decent job in this movie as Renfield. I had more fun out of this movie, except for Awkwafina. Fuck Awkwafina. She was one thing that kept me from loving this film. It was her. She was hurting the film and holding the film down for me. Fuck Awkwafina. You can just leave her out of the movie. I don't buy her as a cop, you know, as well. That you can go back to my review and then I explain everything. This I thought I had more fun as more of a type of horror film, though. I mean, this had a lot more practical blood and good gore and all that stuff. Just watch my review of Renfield. That is a much better movie than Scream 6. And that film did get much of the praise that the Scream 6 did. Because I thought it had some interesting ideas, like with the whole black and white in the beginning, you know, being like his interpretation of Bela Lugosi's Dracula from the original movie, you know. This was that. But they get. You know, it's like what you saw. It's what you saw in the trailer. The two sisters, they get chased into a convenience store. Ghostface kills two people. The clerk gets a shotgun, and he goes to stupid. He says, "Hey," like gives him the Ghostface time to dodge from the. If you just pull out your shotgun and start shooting instead of saying, "Hey," you know, that probably they gave him ample time to get out of the way before you shot your shotgun, dumbass. Just pull the shotgun and just boom, shoot him. Don't just take a second just to say, "Hey, right here." Oh, but Ghostface has a shotgun this time, not a knife. Whoop-de-fucking-do, okay? Jeez. Who cares if it's a shotgun? It still doesn't matter. So, they're at the convenience store. He has the shotgun because he killed the clerk because of the guy's stupidity. The cops come, he disappears. And Kirby, Hayden Penttiere, she's an FBI agent now. And Dermot is a cop, and he's looking into this, and because he has a daughter and has a son, and how'd it go later on? Because they're in a group in their apartment. Because except for Jenna, Ortega, and Chad, they were basically out of the apartment. But Ghostface goes and attacks the rest of them in the rest of the group in the apartment. Ghostface is on top of one, about to stab. Why don't the rest of the group just, you know, grab both his arms and pull him down and beat the crap out of him? No, they don't. And then one thing leads to another. That's where we get the scene, also in the trailer and also right here, where they get a ladder from one building to go to one building to another. You know, crawl on the ladder, go to another building, and what for a second though I thought, well, I saw something like that somewhere else when they go from one place to another on a ladder. I think it was Judgment Night. The more I think about it, with Emilio, if you know what Judgment Night, it's a film that I enjoyed. It stars Emilio Estevez and had also, speaking of Cuba Gooding Jr., whose son is in this. Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. is in that. Yeah, Judgment Night. I think it was dealing with the same thing with the ladder, but I think it wasn't a building to a building. I think it was on top of a roof, from one roof to another. Much better movie than this. So, girl who the last one who's supposed to be on the last one's on the ladder, she falls. I think it was the daughter. I think it was the daughter of Dorothy McMulroney. And he says a line which that made me obviously so suspicious of him when he says, "You fuck with my family, you die," which that automatically made me seem so. That made him automatically to me seem so suspicious of him. And then you get the scene in the subway, which the annoying sister gets stabbed in the subway. She gets stabbed and stuff, but yet she's perfectly fine. She can walk it off like it's nothing. And then Courtney Cox with her scene in her apartment when the killer calls her, and Although he said there's a line that said the stupid line says, "Oh, you never call. I never. No one ever called you." First of all, how does the killer know that no one's ever called Gale before? Now, we the viewer, for what I remember from the rest of the Scream movies, no one never did ever call Gale though. A lot of times they called Sydney or the other supporting cast members. But for what I remember, no one ever called Gale for the remainder from the previous movies. But the thing is, though, how does the killer know that no other previous ones have ever called her before? How does the killer know that, though? How does this Ghostface knows that no other previous ones has ever called her before? That killer does not know. How? No idea. So, and then I think she has a boyfriend now. I'm like, wow, you must have gotten over your death of Dewey pretty quickly to have another boyfriend. But he's a nothing of a character because he's in the background and he gets choked or somewhat like that. Killed by It was in the background. The camera was focused on Courtney Cox. He's in the background back here, and he dies. And Courtney Cox has a gun. She shoots in the direction of the killer, right? Of Ghostface. Now, instead of, backing up to give yourself more distance so you can see where Ghostface is, but no, she stupidly goes forward towards him where he was. Where's the logic in this? Would you better have backing up so you can get more distance to protect yourself and time to see where he's at? No, you stupidly go forward in the direction where he was so they can come out and surprise you. Boo! And she gets stabbed again. But she survives though. But at this point, she was useless, and Courtney Cox was awful in this film. I would have made an exception this time. I would have been perfectly fine if she just died in this film. I would have. If it was Dewey, no. I liked Dewey. I liked David Arquette. Here, I hated that he got killed in the last one. Here, I think I would have made an exception with Courtney Cox's time. It's time for her character to end this time. Stupid decisions. It's almost as dumb as the decision where that annoying bitchy publicist in Scream 4, where she's in her car. The killer was on the hood of her car, and he's out there in the garage. And yet she stupidly gets out of the car to run for the exit, where she was perfectly safe in the car, and where she could have called the cops from her phone that was working. I just don't get the logistics of these people sometimes. I don't. I maybe go all over the place, but fuck it, I don't care. And then it gets to this whole thing that where they go to this warehouse and they find this museum of memorabilia, whatever, of all these Ghostface costumes from stomach aches now. On these Ghostface costumes and props, memorabilia from all the previous movies. Oh, and by the way, Sam, the lead girl, she still sees visions of her dad, Skeet Ulrich, Billy Loomis. And but I did forget to mention in the last movie review as well. See, this film was making me forget a whole bunch of things if I wanted to say. God damn it. Well, I don't care if I give a shit if I can scratch this thing. I don't care. But back with Billy Loomis, because how it looks for the end of 1996, the first film. Over a time, 25 or so years, he's aged, and yet they de-age him horribly. What I forgot to mention in Scream 5, they de-age him horribly. CG de-aged him horribly. Same thing here. Oh, listen, you see him through the reflections of glass. The character Sam, she sees him through the reflections of glass. I'm like, what is she? What is Billy Loomis now? What is he, Candyman now? You see him through the reflection of glass. You say his name 5 times, and out he appears. But they de-aged him horrible. That's one thing I've read to mention. The de-aging of Skeet Ulrich as Billy, horrible. And yet, why she still see visions of him? Why? Because I thought she would stop seeing him after she killed Jack Quaid's character, you know. But no, she still sees him. And this is an easy paycheck for a Skeet Ulrich, you know. And there's all this memorabilia, there's all these props and costumes, and spoiler, I don't care. Dermot McMurray is the killer. Turns out there's 3 killers. His nerdy son, and the girl we thought was killed from before. The one thing that would fell off the ladder. There's those 3 of them, and I'm thinking, first of all, how do they fake the daughter's death? I mean, also the thing is though, if they made this whole big shrine, right? And he's a cop. How did he afford all this? How did he transport this all the way from New York to Woodsboro? And he's a cop, so you think other people in his police department would not question things like, where have you been, or whatever? And also because they're related to Jack Quaid's character, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, his name is Richie. Which I'm thinking, I'm like, Richie. And it makes me think, I'm like, it goes back to Alfred Justice with Steven Seagal. If anybody see Richie, anyone know why Richie did Bobby LeBeau? You know, the funny thing is, I'd rather have not asshole Steven Seagal nowadays. I want the Steven Seagal from Alfred Justice, Gino. I want that Steven Seagal from Alfred Justice to come in and start shooting these guys with a shotgun, you know? Like, blowing up people's legs off like they did to that one guy. Or hitting people with a freaking cue ball and knocking people's teeth out. I want that Steven Seagal from Alfred Justice to beat these guys. Beat the shit out of these guys. I want that one. Can I have Gino, please? Can you bring me Gino from Alfred Justice? But that's Jack Quaid's character was Richie. So they're related to that character, and so I'm like, jeez. Jack Quaid's character, the reason why he wanted to do this was not only because the whole thing with what I said in the last one, well, along with the girl, but the thing is that he wanted to become a killer. Why you want to follow in that, I have no idea. I don't know what these people, the killers' motivations in these newer films are stupid and just convoluted. The whole setup of this ending of this is convoluted as it is. Jeez. So Hayden Penttiere, she does try to shoot, give her something to do, fails. Like I said, Mason Gooding gets stabbed a dozen times, but he survives. So it's the 2 sisters. They stab the son in through the mouth. Yeah, but somehow he survives being stabbed. Like I said, if you get stabbed in this movie, you're fine, you know? So if you get stabbed in the mouth, you're perfectly fine. You can still get up and move around and stuff, you know? And eventually they kill him again. I know they kill him though, but still they get him again with a TV in the face, like they did with Matthew Lillard's Stu from the first movie. Which point, before I mentioned that, at this point people were talking. Before the film came out, they were talking that maybe Matthew Lillard may come back as Stu. I'm like, how and why? You know, how are they able to do that? If he got slammed and electrocuted on his face from the TV, got slammed on him, and he got electrocuted, how could he come back from that? What is he? He can come back by being like Frankenstein, just electrocute him back up, and he can start up again? Jeez. I don't know what people are thinking. Do people watch these Scream movies? So if Stu, if you want to bring back Stu, don't you forget in the end of Scream, he was on the floor. Nev Campbell slams the TV on his face and being electrocuted. And then whatever. Then his sister, she gets shot. Oh, and one point where Jenna Ortega, she's hanging off a balcony, and her sister's holding her, and she literally says, "Let me go." You know, she told him before, gotta let her go. Well, she literally does, so she can get stabbed to get the sister. And now it's Dermot McMurray, and eventually they kill him, basically. And that's back with the son, after being survived by stabbing in the mouth, they hit him in the head with a TV. Like Stu in the first movie. Yeah, and yet Mason Gooding, Chad, he survives after being shish kebab a dozen times. He survives. His sister survived despite being stabbed in the stomach, like I said. Courtney Cox survives. Hayden Penttiere survives. Everybody's... Jeez. I'm tired of people surviving. Can't these people die already? But yet, it doesn't matter because this film made a lot more money than the last one, and now we're going to get a Screen 7. I'm like, jeez. Yeah, the guy Christopher B. Landon, who directed Happy Death Day 1 and 2. But the other thing is, I like both those films, but the guy also did Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. I'm not a fan of that film either. I'm not a fan of that film. So we bring a guy who directed Happy Death Day. Big deal. What more can he do with Scream, with Ghostface again? What better plot, or what killer motivations, or whatever stupid rules they're going to make up to make it better? What? Is it this time, this time they're going to put Ghostface in space? He's going to go to space this time? Like with Leprechaun, and Pinhead, and Jason? Oh, now was it the Scissors are going to come back, they're now astronauts, as some of the killer follows them all the way up to space? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, jeez, they just want to push the envelope with the Scream films. Please, I beg people, please. Whoever it is, don't make any more Scream movies, please. But what am I to say? Like I said, I'm just a nobody out of one of a million on YouTube. I'm just a nobody, so my opinions don't mean shit. So, this film was so aggravating to watch. Oh, it's in New York. Doesn't matter. Number 3 took place in Hollywood, and I'd rather watch and that was a much better location. What are all the horror films that you can see nowadays that takes place in Hollywood? Oh yeah, Seed of Chucky. How can I forget? Yeah, that piece of shit. Yeah, that took place in Hollywood. Seed of Chucky is a piece of shit. Scream 3, much better. Much better than Scream 4, 5, and 6. 2 out of 6. You know, that's not good. The first and the third film, overall, this franchise is not that good to me anymore. I like the first and the third film, but I don't like 2, 4, 5, and 6. That's 4. So it's 4 out of the 2. So I always say I'm not a fan of this franchise, you know. The film is I hate this film. The film is way too long. It didn't need to be 2 hours. The whole entire cast sucks. All of them sucks. The stupid convoluted ending with the whole killer's motivations. Which, by the way, Dylan McMurray's character, they said that Jack Quaid was their son. I'm like, you're a cop. Don't you know, like, the other people, like I said, people in your police department, in your department would know, like, if you have any files, wherever, if that's of other family members, you know. So what? You just redacted your son Jack Quaid from everything, so they don't know who he is. I'm like, even if they found out, if they take out like a year later, which by the way is a funny thing that I think it was the lead girl was in therapy and she didn't bring up about this stuff from the last film a year later to her therapist. I'm like, why you bring this up a year later now? Stupid, like I said. But what do you think that the guy would not have any family? Oh, especially with her, when she was with Jack Quaid in the last one, would she not know if he had any family? You know, I don't get this. This film is so convoluted. It was just it's messing me up right now. Oh, I'm just looking too deep into it. So, yeah. Everything about this film sucks. But like I said, maybe Mason Gooding did a little bit of improvement from the last one. You know, the whole opening could have been interesting with Samara Weaving. I'd rather have her as the lead. The best actress got killed in the start of the movie, sad to say. But so it could have been interesting with the whole the first killer, do like from his point of view, do like a nod to Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, but they can't do that though. And the stupid, annoying sister annoyed the piss out of me. Rules are made to be broken, okay? There are no rules. Fuck your rules, okay? The rules don't apply, okay? Yeah, she was so aggravating as hell in this film. I couldn't stand her. Courtney Cox, she was awful in this film. And another mention that she wrote another book about this, which I thought she was not gonna write another one after she was not gonna write another one, But I guess she didn't learn her lesson. I guess the death of her ex didn't that teach her anything. Gail, at this point, I wanted her to die. I really did. I didn't want Dewey to die, but in this one, I'd rather make an exception. I hate this movie. But the thing is, though, I think Scream 5 was worse because they killed how they treated Dewey in that movie. It just made me more mad. But this is very, very close. Like Scream 5 is here. I'll put the name. See, Scream 5 is right here. Scream 6 is like that close. If I can even it out, right there. That close to being also on par being the worst with Scream 5. So yeah. Fuck Scream 6. And fuck the future Scream 7. I don't want to see any more. And I know that one's gonna suck too. But at least I finally did finish the Scream franchise for now until the next one. I only did the first one a long time ago. I never got a chance to do the rest. Well, here you go. It was a lot more negatives than pluses. Because out of that, 4 of the ones I did, I hated. The only good one was Scream 3. Except for the first one, but the ones I just did. Scream 3 was the best one of the series I've reviewed. But like I said, Scream 1 and Scream 3, they're the only good ones in the series. Scream 3 is the most hated. I don't get why. I'll never understand it. To me, I had more fun. I got more entertainment out of that movie. It's much better than Scream 2, better than Scream 3, better than Scream 5, and a hell of a lot better than Scream 6. Better characters, better twist reveals, even better kills, and better supporting cast members. Like, you usually get cameoed by the late Carrie Fisher or Jay and Silent Bob, Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith. And we got Lex Hendrickson, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Payas, who played Raphael from 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. Better supporting cast members. Like I said before, this franchise should have died a lot when Wes Craven passed away in 2015. In 2015, when he passed away, they should not do any more. They should not have done any more Scream movies after Scream 4. Scream 4 sucked. They should have ended it at that. But no, they gotta keep digging up years later the franchise again. But they made money and they continue doing more and more as long as they keep making the money and the praise from people. I'll never understand it. The Halloween series, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Star Wars, all these other franchises, Alien, Predator. I'm just getting so burned out now. And as much as I'm getting burned out in superhero films too as well. Fuck Scream 5, fuck Scream 6. They can all suck it and kiss my ass. See you next time for the next Halloween review, and we'll see you next time. Later.